19-7 run with complimentary plays over the past couple of weeks, including 5 straight NBA winners and a 2-0 sweep with side selections so far here in the NBA Finals, both of which you got on the video reports. And I'm going to break down game number 3 for you in just a moment, plus give you a complimentary play in baseball too. That one on Baltimore and Boston. That's all coming up in a minute. Listen, today, guys, for your various discounts and promos, etc., well, listen, you got to check out the homepage for that one, because right now it's 5:40 in the morning. I'm in Tampa, Florida, and I've got to get to the airport in a half hour to take a quick flight over to Miami, which, of course, is the worst place in the world as far as I'm concerned, for a lovely little 2-hour meeting before immediately going back to the airport and hopping on another plane. Yes, it's going to be a fun day. Of course, I really shouldn't complain, because the less time I have to spend in Miami and Fort Lauderdale, anywhere in between, is better as far as I'm concerned. So make sure you check out the homepage. One thing I can tell you, however, remember, I happen to win the Charity Play of the Week selection again on Sunday, and I certainly hope you have made your donation or going to do so today, and all the details can be found for this week's recipient right down beneath this video report. But as I have done over the past couple of months after one of the Charity Plays wins, rather than in the old days, and I'm talking the previous 2 years, where I gave you an option to get an extended package with the handicapper that gave you the complimentary winner, and in my case, it was a $75 play you got for free on the Angels as a $1.30 run line dog. Now you can choose the handicapper that you would like the discount package for. And again, you can save $125 off the purchase of any handicapper's 30-day package by using coupon code SAVE125, or you can save $50 off any handicapper's 7-day package by using coupon code SAVE50. And remember, if you happen to already be in the midst of somebody's package, let's say, for example, Jeff Benton, if you have 12 days left on your 30-day package with him and you want another 30 days, well, the package would then get extended out to 42 automatically when you purchase the 30-day option. You would get the $125 discount if you use coupon code SAVE125. And if you have any instant rebates that are applicable, you'll get them applied to your purchase as well. If you ever have any questions regarding it, just contact customer service. And FYI, speaking of Benton, you know, normally a 100-dime play is his top-rated selection. Today, fourth ever 200-dime NBA play of his career. And keep in mind, Jeff Benton is one of the charter members of this site. Over 11 years ago, when I started them, he was one of the original 6 guys that are still here at the site. So, Benton, a perfect 3-0 with these 200-dime releases. All of them coming here in the NBA playoffs this past month. The most recent one, the Spurs in game number 1, Spurs Heat side selection. It is going to be, going tonight, 4th ever 200-dime play from Jeff Benton. So that's a key selection for you to be in consideration of this evening. Quick congratulations going out to Shawn Michaels yesterday. 3rd 50-dime winner in as many days. And for the second time in 2 days, you got it at a discounted price. You saved $65 off the purchase yesterday. And you got the Houston Astros as a $1.50 dog winning at Arizona. Of course, the day before Sunday, you got for $7.77, you got his winner on Kansas City 2-1 over New York. He is now 98, 59, and 2. With his last 159 plays over the past 12 months, making a $10 better, a little over 26 grand. That ain't too shabby, is it? So kudos to Shawn Michaels. Okay, guys, let's get to the game here this evening. I'm not going to personally play it. Now, listen, last night I had my 6-game winning streak with 10-dime releases come to an end when I had the Giants, a home dog, and they got pummeled by the Washington Nationals. Now, that's not stopping me from coming right back today. In fact, I have a wonderful run-line dog, which is another 10-dime play, which is 10-dime winner number 7 out of 8 over the past 2 weeks. So I'm coming right back in baseball because, to me, to bet on game number 3 tonight is not a sound financial strategy for me. Because, as you know, I have the second biggest play in my career, a 20-dime release on the Spurs in the series. So it goes back to that double-dipping philosophy. Listen, I need the Spurs to win game either 3 or 4 here in the series. I'm still alive in the series, but as I pointed out in yesterday's video report, I'm certainly concerned with the way San Antonio played in game number 2, losing the home court advantage. I do think that I still have an edge in terms of having the change in the NBA playoff format As I warned you at the outset of the finals, that 2-3-2 format that they used to have for the past 29 years, discarded for the traditional 2-2-1-1-1. Well, if you're on the Spurs, like I am, you definitely like that format changed by the NBA this season. Listen, the Spurs are getting 4.5 points here tonight. It's a do-or-die game for them. That's the bottom line in this situation. You know, it's interesting. You saw two different Spurs teams. You saw in game number 1 where they were dynamite in the fourth quarter, hitting 14 of 16 shots. In game number 2, they couldn't hit the broadside of the barn in the fourth quarter, hitting just 6 of 17 with Tony Parker and Tim Duncan missing a couple of crucial free throw opportunities, and then in that final minute and a half where they just couldn't get a basket if their life depended on it. Now, of course, it had something to do with the fact that LeBron James happened to play most of the fourth quarter in game number 2, as opposed to the air conditioning gate forcing him to miss the final 7 minutes of game number 1. But the one thing I wanted to stress to you about these two teams is the familiarity that they have with one another. This is going to be their 14th meeting the past 2 years, regular and postseason combined. So you aren't going to expect any surprises. I don't think you're going to see any blowouts in this series, and thus I think the Spurs plus the points are the way to go. I think a couple of keys, however, for San Antonio here this evening, they've got to be able to get the ball down low to Tim Duncan and or Tiago Splitter, who was so good in game number 1 and disappeared just like he did in last year's finals in game number 2, because, you know, the Spurs were badly outplayed in the paint. In the opener, they had a 48-36 advantage in points scored down low. In game number 2, it was Miami with the 44-34 advantage. In fact, Spurs just had 4 points down low in the fourth quarter of game number 2. What happened? Well, it's the Miami interior defense. You saw how effective it was against the Indiana Pacers in the previous round of the Eastern Conference Finals. But then, as I pointed out in many video reports over the past couple of weeks, it's because the Pacers had George Hill playing point guard, Lance Stevenson dominating the ball. You know, Tony Parker and Manu Ginobili must do a better job at driving the lane, dishing off if they want to Duncan, or getting Duncan the ball on the left side of the lane so he can come in with that quick little move and make that little turnaround jumper that he loves. Now, the positives for the Spurs in game number 2, they cut down their turnovers from 23 to 11. They also continued hitting well from three-point land, 12 more three-pointers in game number 2. That's 25 three-pointers in the series. 49% shooting from beyond the arc. That is a positive as well. A negative, they've got to get some production from Kawhi Leonard. You know, everybody talked about Kawhi Leonard. The key for him in this series was how he was going to do an effective job containing LeBron James. That is not the problem here in this series. Listen, LeBron James is going to get his 25 to 30 points. You can live with that if you're the Spurs. You cannot have Chris Bosh getting 19. You cannot have Rashard Lewis coming out of retirement seemingly and scoring 14 and 10. You know, you can't have those type of contributions. On the other hand, you need Leonard to at least give you something offensively because he's given you nothing here. No blocks, 2 steals, 4 rebounds, 4 turnovers, 6 field goals. 9 personals. I mean, he's averaging 9 points in the first 2 games of the series and 43% shooting, okay? And, last year when he was matched up in the finals against LeBron James, he averaged 14 points and 11 rebounds. This year, 9 points, 4 rebounds. It's just not equating. Plus, LeBron is absolutely torching him. In the first 2 games of the series, here's an interesting stat that I happened to come up with when researching the game. LeBron, when Kawhi Leonard is on the floor, is hitting 62.5% of his shots in 52 minutes of action when he's matched up with Leonard, okay? Last year in the finals, those numbers, 44.1%. This year, 62.5%. So again, Leonard has to do a little bit here defensively, but more importantly, he's got to keep LeBron honest and at least be part of the offense. So, again, the familiarity, I think, is the most important thing here. Can the Spurs win tonight? Jesus, I hope so. But more importantly, we're talking from a point spread perspective. I'm going to grab them plus the 4.5 points. Now, your other selection is going to be the Baltimore Orioles as a minus 115 favorite at home tonight against the Boston Red Sox. Chris Tillman going for the Orioles. He has absolutely owned the Red Sox in his career. Listen, this is his first home start since May 11th, okay? The Orioles, because of a tremendous amount of run support, are 9-4 in his 13 starts this season. He has a 2.78 earned run average at home this season, but again, This is his first home start since May 11th. One of those starts happened to be in the season opener when he had 5 innings of 7 hit, 1 run ball, and no decision against the Red Sox. The Orioles have won his last 5 home starts against Boston. They have won 8 of his last 9 starts overall, whether at Camden Yards or up at Fenway. 8-1 in his last 9 starts against Boston. And personally, he's 5-1 with a 2.44 earned run average, including a 3-0 mark and a 1.45 earned run average in his last 5 home starts with the Orioles. So why are the Orioles not my big baseball play tonight? Did you notice Chris Tillman's last start? He could not get an out in the second inning against the Rangers. Faced 5 batters in the second inning and was pulled. So 1+ innings, he gave up 6 hits, 5 runs, and walked 3 batters. That is the second time he has failed to record an out in the second inning of a start in his last 4 trips to the hill. That has me a little bit concerned here. But I still like the Orioles because of Tillman's success and because of the team's success with Tillman on the hill against Boston. Plus, the Red Sox are 1-6 in their last 7 games, and that just happens to coincide with their current road trip length. The Orioles won 4-0 last night behind Bud Norris, holding the Red Sox to just 3 hits. Brandon Workman making his 4th start since being plugged into the rotation for the Sox. 4.70 earned run average in those 4 starts. He hasn't pitched more than 5 1/3 innings in any of them. And Baltimore's a cheap price, so I'm going to go with the O's in this one. Well, that'll do it, guys. Best of luck to y'all. I've got to go to the airport, and I will catch you again on Wednesday when we do this one more time.